Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. This is episode 462, and I am so delighted to have my good friend Barbara Vercruysse here with us today. And Barbara is a personal and growth coach, and she works with entrepreneurs and business owners who also happen to be parents. Boy, can I relate to that part of life. Welcome, Barbara.
Yes, I'm so delighted to be here, Erin.
I am delighted to have you. So I can imagine that the people you work with have a lot going on in their lives.
Absolutely. They are in the middle, you could say, um, in hectic circumstances. Those are people who are parents who have, all of them have more than one child. They have several children. They run one or more businesses. And the challenge for them is to be present in each moment, you could say in each role that they are fulfilling in life.
Mm.
When they are running their business, that they are in their business and not thinking about home the entire time, of when they are home, that they are not thinking about the business the entire time. Just learn them to go through life with grace and ease, through, like in the midst of the hectic circumstances we all know, and learn them to turn inward several times a day to find that calm and peace within them.
Mm. That sounds like something we all need to do, doesn't it?
Yes, me too. Me too.
Especially when we're parents, because
Yes.
we can have a million things on our to-do list and a million things on our mind. And
Hmm.
it's so easy to be with our kids, but not really be there mentally with them.
Absolutely. Recently, one of my clients told me that his wife, his children are 8 and 6 years old. And his wife would often say in the evenings, like, come on, honey, come with us on the couch and watch some TV together. And then he would sit there, but not being present. And he struggled so much with it. First of all, he struggled with the guilt. Like, I'm sitting there, I'm not enjoying it. I'm just doing it to make them happy. And then his wife, of course, notices it. So there's a kind of a tension around that topic. And I told him, I said, listen, if you would now, instead of sitting in the couch, because I'm the same kind of temperament, sitting in the couch for me is just hard. I don't like to sit in the couch because my ideas, inspiration. And I told him, what if you suggested to your wife that instead of sitting in the couch, you play a board game for 30 minutes
Mm.
with your children and your wife? Then you are focused fully on the board game. You don't think about your business and you're engaged with them. And, like everybody was super happy. It sounds simple, but for them, it had been like for weeks kind of a struggle, like, oh, you never sit with us, you never make time for us. And now finding something where he can really do, because he's a do person, he can
Mhm.
do something, getting engaged and really focus on the children and on the game and on the joy.
Oh gosh, that's so beautiful, Barbara. That's so beautiful. And you're right. It's so simple, but
Simple.
sometimes the
Well,
simple thing
sometimes
is
we
right there.
stay, like we stay in our place, like the husband stays in his place and the the wife stays in her. I want it like that. He wants it like that. They're like doing some compromise, and then they're just like not opening up. And
Yes.
sometimes when you come with something entirely different,
Mhm.
you get out of that struggle,
Mhm.
like who's right, who's wrong. You because you focus entirely on something else. So it's not about the couch anymore. It's not about you make. It's just about being together and spending time together.
Mm. Mm. It's so true. It's
It's
so
it's
true.
very important to get, because I sometimes do couple coaching too, to get them out of the I'm right, I'm wrong, you're wrong, I'm right, you're wrong, I'm right, you're wrong. That doesn't
Mhm.
exist.
Mm-mm.
We have, or you could say, our frame of thinking. We, unfortunately, we have too much expectations,
Yes.
which, like, are like the big path to disappointment, you could say.
Mhm.
So you have a wife, especially in young couples. I think the
Mhm.
older you get, it's one of the beautiful things of getting mature, of maturing in your couple. It's dropping expectations every day, every month, every
Mm.
year, but
Hmm.
you open up to that complete acceptance. And I can say I'm married for more than 21 years, we're together 24 years. The harmony has never been greater. Like, the more we accept, and even, you could say, the flaws of my husband, the little sides that used to frustrate me a lot, now I can sometimes look with a smile and say, yes, that's really him. Getting
Mm.
all upset about keys that he doesn't find every single morning again. Being late because he loves to sit at breakfast with us, and then he gets all nervous and upset and yelling. And now I know. And the more you accept, like it softens. There's something that softens in the house.
Mm. That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. And I think that provides a beacon of hope for for my younger listeners who might be in the thick of all the power struggling and
Oh,
adjusting to having young kids, and how does it all
you
work
have
out?
that phase. You first have the phase, you're a young couple, and you have the kids. That's a lot of pressure and stress. And then the next phase is when you're in your early 40s, you have your own crisis. You could say, like, the midlife crisis. You're questioning everything. Do I like this job? Do I want to do this the rest of my life? Kids are growing up, they're getting teenagers. And that's another phase, which is very stormy, very stormy. A lot of couples separate in that moment. And
Mhm.
then, but once you get through the storm, I often, you could say, compare it like that we are an unpolished diamond. And
Mm.
all those, you could say, all those challenges are like sandpaper, and they polish us. So
Mm.
once you get through it, and you have the courage to be open, to be vulnerable, you really have the willpower to make something of your marriage, or of your couple, or your family. Once you get through it, it's not like it's harmony all day, but something comes in place, like, like, after all those stormy seas, there is calm sea.
Mm.
Once I will be 50 this year. My oldest is 21, my second is 20, and my son is 17. So you have gone through a lot of phases.
Mhm.
And there is still sometimes mess, and there is still quarreling, and there is still misunderstandings, and we have all of it. But the undercurrent is so powerful, and it's pure love, like that undercurrent. Even if at the top you have those frictions, and you have everything going on, and sometimes but at the end of the day, or the next morning, like, it's all okay
Oh, I love that.
again.
I feel so much calmer listening to you, Barbara. It's just wonderful.
Oh. Well, I went through a lot. And if there's something that you could say, that when I'm faced with something, I survived the stage 4 cancer 17 years ago. um, I had quite some challenges in life. But there's one thing that I do, is that I dive deep into the pain,
Mm.
and I want to find out, and I want to. It's as if um, I have this determination to learn from it.
I love that.
Like, this is teaching me something. What is the lesson in here? And that's what I will be talking in the talk in Philadelphia. Like, every hardship in hindsight is now a blessing. When I was in the midst of it, it was not a blessing. I didn't feel as if it was a blessing. It was horrible. It was painful. There were tears. I think I must be on this planet one of the people who cried most in my life, like seas of tears, seas of tears. But it has brought me, you could say, so much joy, which sounds contradictory. But when you dive deep into your issues, you have the courage to look, like face it, what's going on, and be open, have that courage to be open to the people around you too, even if sometimes you have to say something that they don't like to hear. And for me, that was often because I'm like a soft and gentle person. And I absolutely am horrified by confrontations. So I had to learn that. My husband is like, he's a Leo, and he's impulsive, and he's like, he's dynamite. So we're very good together. I'm like the calm sea, he's the dynamite. But it took me 15 years, I guess, to really see that every time he got like dynamite, that he wasn't going to separate from me or running away. I was every time like, oh my God, now he's so mad for that. So I adapted for a long time. I adapted my behavior to prevent discussions. But in the end, it distanced myself from him. So I'll be talking about every hardship, everything. I'm just like, you could say, like the detective of my own life, investigating. So like, oh, wow, that hurt. And then I would like go into my office at night and think like, why did that hurt? What's this learning me? What does it tell about me? What does it say about the other person? And I guess when you are not running away, because each time you run away of an issue in your life, it comes back like a boomerang.
It's so true. It's so true. And I think as I'm listening to you talk about what your workshop will be on, I'm imagining all the wonderful gifts that the attendees at your workshop will gain when they come to the conference. And I think
It's a personal story. It's really
yes.
a personal journey of surviving is maybe not right. Failing, getting up again, getting setbacks, getting up again, learning, and really ending. It's not that my life's over now, not at all. But having learned so much, I'm very passionate about sharing with people how within them there is such a treasure, how a lot more powerful they are than they think, how every solution is found inside you, never outside you. And in having that awareness that you could say a hardship or a challenge is always a good thing, always. Because it always brings to the surface an unhealed part of you.
It's so true. And so many times I meet people or work with people who have a hardship come up or a challenge or a difficult time, and they want to, I think our human instinct is to resist it and reject it. Absolutely. I don't want the pain. I don't want the hardship. Why me?
Yeah.
And I love that you embrace it and welcome it as a wonderful learning opportunity, and it's opportunity for growth.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There is a very beautiful story. I don't know if you read the book, A Man's Search for Meaning from Viktor Frankl.
No, but I've always wanted to.
You have to. It's really, I read it twice. And he's in the concentration camp. And there's a lady in the hospital, you could say barrack, and she was dying. but she had that smile on her face. And Viktor Frankl, who asked her, "Why are you smiling?" And she looked outside as she saw one branch of a tree, and she saw the sky, and she says, "I'm just so grateful that in this lifetime I got so many hardships that I started really to appreciate the gift of life. Without without those hardships, I would never have appreciated the branch of that tree so much."
That is such a beautiful story.
So if people who are in concentration camps, who are dying, still can be grateful for a branch on a tree and the sky, just have the look of that and feel grateful, like, well, we have a lot to be grateful for then,
Yes,
because
we
we
do.
have the branch every day. We look out the window and we see the branch every day and we take it for granted. And that's where you could say our misery starts. We take so many things for granted. And that will be one of the things in my workshop too. It's when you are almost taking away things, that's why I'm so grateful for every hardship I had each time I was faced with something that would be taken away from me, whether it was my health, my relationship, my money, that I got those deep insights like, oh my God, I didn't appreciate it before this moment. I didn't see what the lesson was before this moment. So I had to go through the darkness to realize my own light.
So true. Oh, Barbara, you are just a delight. I love it. I hope that everyone signs up for your workshop. It's going to be so fabulous.
I'm so excited to come. You have no idea.
I can't wait to see you because you're far away in Europe. I'm here in New Jersey, and
Yes.
I can't wait to get in the same room with you in Philadelphia in April and give you a giant hug.
Yes, me too. Me too. Just hug you like minutes for minutes.
Oh, it's going to be fabulous.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you so much for this time with me today, Barbara, and sharing your inspirational story and your way of looking at life. It's just delightful.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
All right, that wraps up today's episode. Remember, you can sign up for Barbara's workshop at our upcoming Revolutionizing Parenthood conference in April. I hope that you do because you're in for a treat. And I hope that wherever you are, you make it a very grateful day for yourself.
Thank you.